pastor Chuck Baldwin, jedan od rijetkih koji ima kičmu govoriti onako kako je.
Donald Trump's flagrant war of aggression that he conducted over the weekend against Iran. Last Sunday when I said Donald Trump may take us to war with Iran by this time next Sunday, I didn't know how prophetic.
I to na šabat. Na šabat su napao Izrael Iran.
No U.S. president has a right to take America to war with another nation without a declaration of war from Congress. That means Trump's war with Iran is exactly that. It's Donald Trump's war. Illegally using the U.S. military for his own purposes.
Kako ćeš nadrapati smrade žuti?
For Israel's purposes. The man who promised the American people that he would stop America's stupid, it's his word, perpetual regime change wars, lied to us. He knew he was lying when he said it, because he knew that his entire presidential campaign was sponsored by the Epstein/Zionist/billionaire class epitomized by Mossad asset Miriam Adelson.
Mm-hmm.
Most U.S. presidents, just as most of the U.S. Congress, are overly influenced and manipulated by the state of Israel, thanks to the Zionist billionaire donors using the Israeli lobby group AIPAC and scores just like it, as a conduit of unlimited cash with which to bribe these criminals called politicians. But without a doubt, Donald Trump is far and away the most beholden and the most controlled U.S. president ever. Donald Trump is owned lock, stock, and barrel by Benjamin Netanyahu and the Antichrist Zionists in Tel Aviv.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump's unwarranted, unprovoked, and unconstitutional attack against Iran proves it. Iran posed zero threat to the security of the United States. The American people, especially America's evangelicals, need to awaken to the reality that our politicians in Washington do not represent us, the American people.
I ti isto se u Hrvatsku, na Hrvatsku odnosi. Tako je.
In Israel. Now American blood is being shed and American lives are being lost.
Mm-hmm.
For the defense, not for the defense of America, but for the fanatical greater Israel ambitions of the atheistic European Zionists in Palestine.
Svaka čast.
This war was never about Iran's nuclear program. Our own intelligence agencies have repeatedly reported for over 30 years that Iran had no nuclear weapons and had no plans on building them. Nuclear weapons violate deep-seated religious convictions within the Shia Muslim faith. I know it's hard for people in America to recognize that. Besides, Donald Trump brazenly told us last June that he had, quote, totally obliterated Iran's nuclear capabilities. This war will not likely end well. Not for the United States, not for Israel, not for the global economy, and not for the prospect of peace. Military targets were not the only targets of U.S. missiles in Iran. 2 elementary girls' schools were incinerated, along with over 100 little grade school girls and their teachers.
Užas.
This means our military campaign is not with precision strikes in mind.
Djecu
They
su
are designed to
žrtvovali.
destroy civilian targets as a means of sowing panic and horror among the population with the hope of forcing the populace to insurrect against their government, just as Israel and the U.S. have done in Gaza. It didn't work in Gaza. and it won't work in Iran. When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, it did not fracture the American population. It solidified it. February 28, 2026 was Iran's Pearl Harbor. Now their political differences are set aside, and the Iranians see only two enemies, Israel and the United States. Oh yes, and the Gulf Arab monarchies that are in bed with the Zionist/Epstein class. Trump lit a war fever that will not soon dissipate. If this war turns into a war of attrition, and I believe it will be a war the U.S. and Israel cannot win, any more than the U.S. and NATO could win a war of attrition against Russia in Ukraine.
Tako je.
Iran has hundreds of thousands of state-of-the-art, highly sophisticated missiles, many of them hypersonic. Iran can fight this war for months and perhaps years if it has to.
Plus Rusija I Kina.
This is the end of Trump's
Tako je.
presidency.
Tako je,
He
amen.
will go down in history as one of the most failed presidents, along with Joe Biden, in history. And as uncomfortable as
Traitor.
what I'm about to say is, I must say it, all of Trump's insanity could not have happened and would not have happened without the rabid, cult-like support of evangelical Christian Zionists. When the curtain falls on Trump, and it will fall, when that curtain falls, it will also shine the spotlight of shame on the Christian Zionist evangelicals in this country.
I
These
šire.
blind leaders of the blind in evangelical pulpits will share the disdain and derision of public opinion both here and around the world for decades to come. Early yesterday morning, after learning of Trump's attack on Iran, a pastor friend of mine in Colorado sent me this text. He said, quote, according to the headlines, the U.S. and Israel are striking targets in Iran. We have lost our sovereignty as a nation. We are now under the control of a Christ-hating, Christ-rejecting nation. Thank you, my friend, for reshaping my understanding of Israel. All of us should make a vow now to never again support any political candidate, regardless of party,
Tako
who
je.
accepts any money from a
Tako je. Tako je. To su špijuni. Špijuni. I sve ove koji imaju dvojno državljanstvo, sve ih treba šuknut van iz zemlje. Van.